I was very, very, very unhappy. And I didn't realize how unhappy I was. And I got out to Austin and I had a complete mental breakdown, surrounded by darkness, didn't want to live anymore, didn't know why. I was able to, thank God, surrounded by my friends and family. My younger sister found a place in Connecticut that was deep, intensive therapy. And I went for 3 weeks, saved my life. As a part of that, I learned for the first time that I didn't know what self-love was and that I did not love myself. While I was staying in this house and doing all of this therapy, I had told my agency, hey, I'm going to be off grid. I have to go do some deep, real serious healing. About a week and a half into that, I got an email from my agency in typical Hollywood fashion. But it was also completely God, because this was meant to be. And a little not preface to the story, because I'm already into the story, but 2 months prior to this, I had been offered an audition for the role of Shazam in the movie Shazam, but I turned it down because I knew that The Rock was already cast as Black Adam. I knew that the characters of Black Adam and Shazam are basically like doppelgangers. They're like twin brothers. I mean, they look like they're twins, but have slightly different haircuts. And I'm like, well, I am not The Rock's twin. They're probably looking for John Cena or something, right? So thanks, but no thanks. And I passed on it. Now, 2 months later, I'm at this place trying to save my own life. And I get an email and they go, hey, don't mean to bother you. There's a supporting role in Shazam, small little thing. If you want to put yourself on tape, you don't want to do it, no problem. That's fine. But that day I had just had a breakthrough and I just started to see the light again. And I said, when do they need this by? They said by Friday. And so Friday came around and I felt good enough to put myself on tape. I did one take and I sent it in. Well, that night they called back and they said, not only do we love what he did here for this role, but we haven't cast Shazam yet. We think he could be Shazam. And I'm like, what is happening right now? So then 1 week later, through finishing up my therapy there, flying to Hollywood and doing a screen test, I was Shazam. And all of that happened because I went and I started to heal myself, without a doubt. I would not have been able to even handle any of what came with this had I not gone and done that most important thing first, loving myself. So when I was promoting the film, I told my publicists, I cannot talk about this film. I cannot promote this film without being honest about how I got this job and how I got this role and talking about my mental health journey. And they were like, okay. So then I did a few interviews and podcasts, Jay Shetty and some others, and I was able to talk about this whole story. And HarperCollins saw some of that and were like, this is a book. You should write a book. So they contacted my team. They brought me in their offices in New York. We sat down. I was like, listen, I barely read books, let alone write them. And they're like, don't worry. We've got people that will help you with that. And that's how the book came to be. And to me, it was just a part of the journey of what God wanted me to do with all of that story, which is to let people know that you are not alone. You are not alone.